Hey everybody, Ronarray here, and I absolutely love Demon Form builds. I think Demon Form is a very fun addition to the gameplay, which making your character look cool, be faster, and also now giving you spell damage. Unfortunately, before, you wasn't able to use weapons with Demon Form, but now it is possible, and I think it's a perfect moment to work on Demon Form builds. Initially, I wanted to do Arc Demon Form build. However, unfortunately, Arc is not really working that great in the endgame. So in this video, I wanted to give a pretty big update to my guide for Lightning Demon build. There I'm going to showcase what kind of lightning skill we can use in the endgame, so we can clear tier 15 or even kill pinnacles without a lot of issues. So I'm going to showcase all the changes that I made, what kind of skills we are now using, and also explain why we are not utilizing Arc anymore. For leveling, I'm still recommending to run an ED plus Contagion, so if you're interested just in the leveling, please check out the guide, which I'm going to leave both in the description and in the pinned comment. Let's go, and I will be able to explain what we are currently using for the maximum efficiency. So my initial idea being just to use Arc to trigger cast on critical, and use that combination to deal damage, especially to single target. However, scaling for Arc is not really working that great. It's not killing enemies by itself, and you're not triggering cast on critical that often. So now we are utilizing a different technique to deal damage, which is Lightning Warp and Ball Lightning combination. That's a very popular combination of skills, which is currently working pretty great for casters. So initially, for it to work, you need to cast Ball Lightning, and after that, cast Lightning Warp on your balls. And it's looking like that. It's a very fun combo which leading to big amount of damage and also huge AoE. I think it's stacking very good with Demon Form because you're receiving both cast speed and spell damage at the moment. And that combo is going to literally carry you through most of the endgame. Let's talk about supports. Currently, for the Lightning Warp, I'm running Unleash, Considering Casting, Deliberation, Zenith, and Efficiency. It's a pretty interesting question because the big question here is why I'm using Efficiency together with Zenith. Zenith currently gives you 30% more damage while you're above 90% of your mana. However, it's very hard to maintain mana at that level. And to make sure that we always have that mana, I'm recommending to use Efficiency. If you don't have the last slot, you can drop Deliberation and just use a basic setup of Zenith and Efficiency like that. So when you will have that last slot, adding Deliberation just giving you free 20% of more spell, more damage, which is a very good addition. Unleash and Consider Casting is a very nice combination, especially Unleash, because you're going to constantly recast your skill, so you're going to Lightning Warp around much more often. So make sure that you're always starting with Unleash. And Considered Casting is our biggest damage multiplier because we don't really care that much about cast speed here, and we care more about just more damage, which is feeling absolutely amazing. And after that, with the build, we can also utilize a few other cool bonuses. First off, it's Demon Form. For Demon Form, as a support, I'm using Second Wind together with cooldown recovery. And important moment for Ascendancy, I currently don't recommend to run Master Darkness. Demon Flame with no maximum is going to literally destroy your life, so you're going to lose all your life very fast, and it's very hard to counter with the regeneration now. So I recommend to just take Demonic Possession to get 10 maximum Demon Flame, which will give you 30% of more spell damage, which is very good, and it's going to be enough to pretty much just stop at that level. To maintain Demon Form, you will need to reach 150 total life recovery per second approximately. It could be a little more, it could be a little less. You can also click the flask to heal yourself. And the last part of the Ascendancy, you can just go for Altered Flash, Baited Hand, and Baited Will. Baited Will is going to give you a lot of spirit. My current spirit is 241, so we can get a lot of bonuses from it. And the second moment is Baited Hand. Baited Hand is going to give us more energy shield, and it's going to feel much better because character will feel pretty tanky. I currently have 6,500 energy shield, which is very comfortable in terms of tankiness. Another interesting moment right here. So if you're running Altered Flesh, you will need to make sure that you have Chaos resistance capped. At the moment I have 71 Chaos because your physical damage will be taken as Chaos. If you don't have Chaos at all, physical damage could be a very big issue for your survivability. So talking about the rest of the skills, for Lightning Warp it's just that combination, you don't really need anything else. For the Ball Lightning, I'm currently using a combination of Rapid Casting, Multi-Shot and Pinpoint Critical. Rapid Casting and Multi-Shot here are just to make sure that you are shooting multiple projectiles, as you can see. And Pinpoint Critical is giving the skill itself about like 50% crit chance in my case, and will just help us to stack cast on critical. So I'm also using Orb of Storms together with Lightning Exposure, Overabundance and Prolonged Duration. Using Orb of Storms is here only for single target, so you can put 2 Orb of Storms for single target and just blink through it. It's helping out with bosses and basic stuff like this too. For the bosses, I'm also recommend to run Sigil of Power. Sigil of Power is a pretty nice thing because it's going to give you additional stages with more spell damage per stage. You can practically just cast it pretty easily on the ground together with your Orb of Storms when you are fighting single target. Make sure you're doing it to maximize your damage at the moment. And for Sigil of Power, you will mostly use like Magnified Area and Prolonged Duration as supports. For the cast on critical, we have another very important thing. Here we're running Lightning Conduit together with Concentrated Area, Elemental Focus and Boundless Energy. It's going to help us to get cast on critical with Conduit pretty often and to get even more damage when Lightning Conduit is consuming shock to deal that damage. So it's going to mostly boost our single target, so make sure you have cast on critical up until you're fighting like bosses, and mostly during single target fights, that's the place where you will need it. For cast on critical, it's also pretty important to get quality because it's going to give you increased reservation efficiency. And another interesting addition to the build that I'm currently using is running Blasphemy. Blasphemy together with Elemental Weakness is going to take a lot of resistances off from enemies, and we can penetrate those resistances even further, maximizing our damage. So running Elemental Weakness together with a Ritualistic Cures and just like Magnified Area right here is helping a lot, so enemies around us will just constantly be under Elemental Weakness effect and it will maximize our damage. For Blasphemy it's also pretty important that you will need to get increased reservation efficiency as well, so make sure you have quality too. We are not running any other hours except Convalescence. For Convalescence, we're mostly going to use it very often to pretty much just recharge Energy Shield and survive better. I also recommend to add Vitality and Clarity. Vitality is playing one of the biggest roles to maximize our life regeneration so we can maintain Demon Form. And Clarity is going to increase our mana regeneration to maintain our Zenith. The last bonus is just cooldown recovery, so we can click Convalescence itself more often. If you don't have enough spirit for all of that, I recommend to just drop Blasphemy out of the setup. Your single target going to be lower in terms of damage, but you will be absolutely alright. Without Blasphemy currently, you will need to have like 180 spirit, which is easily achievable if you can get at least 2000 of life. We will get to item setup a little later in that video. So that's all your skills, there's not a lot of changes, and your tooltip should be around 51k. If you can get critical hit chance higher, it will be pretty good. I'm currently around 37% of critical hit chance, but I think reaching at least 50 probably going to make it a little better for the gameplay. We're not really relying on crits too heavily, but it's a nice addition to our damage, which is already pretty high. And let's talk about our 3 except the Ascendancy. So in the 3, it's pretty important to get a lot of Energy Shield, because it's main source of your survivability. I'm also recommending to getting both Efficient Casting, and if you can buff Conservating Casting on your amulet, it will work too. So my current mana cost of Lightning Warp is around 122 mana. Without all bonuses like that, and if I will drop efficiency completely out of the build. The mana cost could be up to 300, which is too big to maintain together with Zenith. So I definitely recommend to spend at least 3 points here and conservative casting too. Another interesting question is like why we are not taking recover maximum mana on kill. I currently believe that we need to focus on damage on bosses, so we should have enough regeneration for Zenith to work, and mana on kill is helping only while clearing, so I'm not recommending that at the moment. You can still take it as a temporary solution though. So we are taking some additional penetration here, we are going up, taking all bonuses for lightning damage right here, going to the right for additional crit and careful assassin, and going to the left, here is a very good set of nodes. First off, it's storm charged for additional damage, it's breaking point for magnitude, and it's all natural, which is providing all elemental resistance and also elemental damage, and it's feeling absolutely amazing. And to make sure that you're not getting stunned, I heavily recommend to invest points into Eldritch Wheel. It will give you additional element threshold based on maximum manager shield and stun threshold based on maximum manager shield. With those nodes, if you will spend 3 points here, you will not get stunned and you will also get additional percent to your maximum life, mana and energy shield. Another cool thing that we have right here is Archon of Storm. I definitely recommend using it because it's going to give you a very cool buff, Lightning Archon. It will give you 25% more lightning damage with spells, which is going to improve your damage significantly. So it's definitely worth it at the moment in the 3. So otherwise 3 is pretty simple and basic. Don't forget to add additional bonuses for recharge energy shield. And next points I will probably recommend to invest right here up to additional point here Convalescence for faster start. My current start energy shield recharge is 2000 and per second it's 1300. So it should be absolutely fine to regenerate the shield out of the fight. Talking about the items, here it's pretty interesting. First off, for the weapon, you just need to get a lot of level to all lightning spell skill gems, and if you can, like spell damage, lightning damage, and damages extra lightning. Generally, you can run Wand and Focus, or you can run Staff. Both are working absolutely fine, and there's not a lot of issues with those. At the other items, we will need to get life regeneration per second, please keep it in mind. So on the belt, it's 27 life. On the helmet, and on the boots, I'm rolling life regeneration per second. If you can get some additional bonuses on your ring, so I have it on both, it will be even better. So rolling those life regeneration per second will help us to maintain the demon form. So we will look cool, we will literally fly fast, and it's going to be pretty comfortable to play to always have that regeneration. For the rest of the items, on the body armor, I recommend to get as much spirit and energy shield as possible. Everything else is playing very small roles, so just energy shield and spirit. For the helmet, it's resistances, life and regeneration. You can practically try to roll life on all your items together with mana if you can do that. At the boots, I recommend to get at least 20 movement speed at the moment, and adding cores to chaos resistance can help a lot with chaos resistance itself, to reach like 71. At the rings, it's also a very good idea to roll chaos resistance too, because that's going to make capping chaos resistance much easier. At the amulet, I already mentioned conservative casting, you can get plus level for spell skill gems, and additional energy shield is also feeling nice because we have it practically everywhere. And for the gloves, we just care about resistances again, together with life and mana. Everything else is not playing that big overall. So that's the set of items I'm currently using, it's very simple and there's nothing else to add. You can also run like cast speed on even lightning damage on the rings, but it should be absolutely enough at the moment. So that's been an update for my lightning demon form Infernalist build. I will keep updating the guide with more information while we're playing and progressing along. Feel free to just save it and check it from time to time if there will be any kind of changes. Thank you very much for watching and feel free to ask me on Twitch if you have any questions. The link is going to be both in the description as always and in the pinned comment. See you next time and ronarray out.